Hello there, Bobby Morgan, Consultant Ministry Training Center International. Today we're going to talk about how God provides. Does God provide? Yes. Yes, God provides. God provides, not just for his children, even for the unbelievers, because for God so loved the world, John 3:16. But if God can provide for those who are not the children of the kingdom, that the sinners, then surely he can provide for his children. He can provide for his children. Ask and you shall receive. Matthew 7:7. Seek and you shall find. So there are 5 ways we're going to talk about today. Number 1, he gives us seasons of plenty and expects us to save for the days of famine. Now, for example, a country like Nigeria is currently in a recession. Many countries have had economic setbacks. All right, many countries had economic setbacks, and they had to rely on what they saved. All right, countries have savings. So if they depleted their savings before now, then they will be in trouble, serious trouble. And if you didn't save and you enter difficult financial times, you're going to put yourself in trouble. So saving is a principle that works and is a biblical principle. Remember Joseph in the book of Genesis told Pharaoh, let's save back 1/5 of every harvest of each year in the 7 years plenty. So God expects us in the season of plenty to save back. Now, when Jesus in John chapter 6, when he did a miracle of multiplication of bread and fishes, the leftovers was numbered with 12 baskets. 12 baskets were numbered as leftovers. Now check. He didn't say throw it into the sea. He said keep it. Keep it. Preserve. God is not a God of wastage. So many people who say they walk by faith believe in wasting things and God will provide more. That's not how it works. Number 2, he performed miracles of provision during times of hardship. Sometimes the law of nature has to be broken for people to be provided for, and God does that. For example, Elijah had to be fed by God by ravens. A selfish bird called ravens. He fed Elijah. Yeah, it did happen. The children of Israel in the wilderness, manna rained from heaven. And sometime later, birds began to rain from heaven, and they killed and they ate. So such extraordinary miracles could happen. And that's one of the ways God could provide. But that doesn't happen every time, does it? Especially when there are other means to meet such a need. The children of Israel were in the desert, so there was no supermarket. There was no bank to go take some loan. So God had to do that supernatural move to sustain them. Number 3, he instructs those with plenty to share with those in need. 2 Corinthians 9:8, Acts chapter 4, 34 to 35. I pick especially that of Acts chapter 4, 34 to 35. In the early church, which we hardly see these days, the rich brought out of their excess. All right? And what they brought was shared with the needy. But today we have the rich becoming richer in the church and the poor becoming poorer. And they say it's prosperity. God is blessing them and increasing them. And their brothers are dying of hunger. And this happens especially with the prosperity preaching churches. For example, in Nigeria here where I live, I see churches in the southern part of Nigeria having gigantic cathedrals. But the Christian brothers in the north, where the Christians are persecuted, some of them do not even have houses. So that's not prosperity. If your brother is poor and you're rich, then you mean you're poor too. Yeah, take it from me. The rich extends his hands to the needy. And one of the things Jesus said that would take a lot of Christians to hell, as it's in Matthew, and I believe in Luke too, is that many people are going to go to hell because they didn't feed the hungry and they didn't clothe the naked. So what point am I making in Acts chapter 4? The rich brought from their wealth, and it was distributed generously amongst the people in the church. It was done daily. They were doing these distributions daily, so they had to set apart some 7 people, which Stephen and Philip were amongst them, as deacons, to do this daily distributions, daily, every day. And the Bible says, and they lacked nothing, and great grace was upon them all. Today we are not saying that, because we are preaching a selfish gospel. Me. No. The gospel is not all about just you. Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. So the third way God provides is by using the rich, the well-to-do, to share with those who are in lack. So everybody could be even, satisfied, needs met. There are some people that don't need to be praying, God give me, if you responded. I was in a church some time ago, and the pastor was leading prayer for God to provide for those in the midst of that church who were hungry, who couldn't pay school fees for their kids. And immediately after that prayer, somebody came to do or celebrate her child's birthday. And they spent a lot of money on the entertainment, costly drinks, food, and cakes. I believe, and that I do that too, the cost of that cake and the refreshments could have been used to meet the needs of those who couldn't feed at home, those who couldn't pay their school fees, those who couldn't pay their rents. And I wept while I saw that happen. I didn't eat what they were sharing. I refused to. So what I do on my birthday, because I read from the Bible in the book of Luke, I go look for the hungry and feed them. I don't call for big parties and call my friends. No, go to those hungry kids and I feed them. I'm not the best, but that's what I'm doing, and I encourage people to do that because Jesus said we should do that too. Ask yourself, what would Jesus do in this situation? So, number 4, supernatural liftings or promotion. God provides through supernatural liftings, promotion. For example, Joseph in Genesis 41, he was promoted, and he was no longer a prisoner. He was no longer begging for food or looking for clothes to wear. Esther chapter 8, you see Naaman was promoted from being a poor man at the gate, and he was made rich. You see Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego too. So if you're doing a good job in your office, in your place of work, you could get promoted. If you're diligent in doing your business, God could make your business flourish because of your diligence, not because you just prayed. No, faith without works is dead. Don't forget that. Then number 5, jobs or contracts. I've heard people who got blessed and became rich because God gave them jobs. Miraculously, they had the job. I remember a story of a young man who was jobless, and just an act of faith, he went to, he was an engineer, a building engineer. So he went to a house being under construction, and he took a piece of paper and began to do as if he was supervising the work. And somebody was passing by and saw him, said, "Are you an engineer?" I said, "Yes, I am." And I asked him, "Can you help me construct it?" I said, "Yes." And bingo, they gave me a contract. Since then, he ceased to be poor. All right? So God could do that too. God could do that. Remember Joseph, just by interpreting a dream, he was given the job of a prime minister. And through that job, he didn't just take care of himself and his family. He took care of his brothers and their wives and children, including his father, Jacob. So when you're asking God for financial supplies and miracles, these are some of the ways he could do that. And they are biblical, tested, just like I gave you scriptures for each and every one of them. Please, God is interested in meeting your needs. But you have to be observant to know how he does these things, so that you will not be out of position when he's doing it. You must learn to be at the right place at the right time. And my next teaching is going to be on how to hear God. 7 voices of God. That's what I target. So please stay tuned to this channel and don't miss out. If there are other teachings that you need to learn, how to activate your faith, how to receive your healing, why some Christians are not here, a whole lot of that. Please visit my YouTube channel and see other topics that will bless you. Thank you.